Hello, my name's Philip Bennion. I'm member of the European Parliament for the Liberal Democrats for the West Midlands, and on May the 22nd of this year I shall be standing for re-election as head of the list system for the Liberal Democrats, and I'm hoping to get re-elected to continue my work in the European Parliament for another 5 years. Over the last 2.5 years, when I've been sitting in the Parliament, I've been on the Employment Committee and the Transport Committee. Our focus, and the Liberal group's focus on the Employment Committee, is making European legislation more fit for small and medium enterprises. That has been our relentless focus from day one, that small and medium enterprises should be able to thrive in the regulatory environment that we create. Very often we make rules that are easy for big business to follow, but not so easy for small business to follow. We've been making it sure that smaller businesses can comply with the legislation, making the legislation easier to follow. We've had some success in that. I work very closely in the West Midlands with Jaguar Land Rover. Being on both the Employment Committee and the Transport Committee, we have a lot of business that we do together. Jaguar Land Rover, of course, is one of the great successes of the region in recent years, increasing exports and increasing the number of jobs that they're creating. We want to make sure that they continue in the West Midlands, and they will most likely continue to grow in the West Midlands if the United Kingdom stays in the European Union. Staying in the European Union is a very, very important issue, and all of the business groups that we meet tell us that Britain has to stay in the European Union, otherwise their investment will go elsewhere. One of the organisations I talk to regularly on the Employment Committee is the American Chamber of Commerce. There are 16,000 American companies operating here in the UK, and most of those companies, they are here for the single market of 500 million people, the European single market. They're not here just for the 64 million people in the UK market. So these companies, they've told me, I've asked them, what happens if the United Kingdom leaves the EU? They said, well, all these American companies will review their investment policies, and the likelihood is that they will repatriate back into the European Union. So they'll move. We'll lose millions of jobs. So it's very, very important that on May the 22nd you vote for somebody who's going to keep Britain in the European Union. I'm also active on the Transport Committee. One of the things I've been looking at there is the 10T networks, which are the core network, the core transport networks across Europe. And a number of these run through Birmingham. One of them is the route from London through to Birmingham and through to Holyhead, also up to Manchester, the HS2 route. And the high-speed rail is a qualifying project that can receive European funding. And trying to get more infrastructure funding paid for by Europe has also been one of my priorities. And we've had a great success in this. In the next European budget, which runs now for the next 6 years, from 2014 to 2020, we have increased spending on infrastructure, increased spending on research and development, and increased spending on the areas that create growth and create a growing economy. We've done this despite cutting the budget overall. We've cut slightly the agriculture budget and slightly the cohesion budget. So we've not only cut the budget, but we've produced a budget that is going to create more economic growth and more jobs. And that's something the Liberals in the European Parliament have pressed for.